welcome to my channel. I am Yashika and sorry for shouting that like इतना जोर से चिल्लाने के लिए very sorry guys and let's start. गाइज आज हम लोग सुनने वाले एक स्टोरी जिसका नाम है द टाइम मशीन एंड गाइज दिस स्टोरी इज रिटन बाय H.G. Wells and guys let's start listening to our story. The fourth dimension. The dinner party was winding down. The time traveler, as he shall be known, for the purposes of anonymity, had invited us there to share some news. The candlelight, our full bellies, and even the chairs we were sitting in lent a certain feeling of security. We could talk without inhibition and discuss ideas that perhaps would have seemed absurd during the day. It was the time traveler who began. Gentlemen, I would like to discuss with you an idea which has escaped mankind for a far too long. Tell us then. Do not keep us in suspense. The fourth dimension, he replied. But there are only 3 dimensions, one of my fellow guests interrupted. Take the example of a cube. I will prove that it exists in 4 dimensions. But it's a solid shape. We all know that solids only take the space of 3 dimensions. But it consists in the present, the 4th dimension, my friends, is time. People, mathematicians are working on how to represent this at this very moment. Just as we can represent 3 dimensions on a flat surface using paper and pencil, we must be able to represent 4 in 3 dimensions. Our host was extremely animated at this point. His eyes sparkled and smile flashed across his face. He watched us closely for some time and then continued. When he saw that no one in the room could actually reply to such a remark. In the scientific community, it has been long regarded that time is a form of space. But how do we represent it? A barometer will show you the different temperatures, and we can trace a line in the air to show this. For example, yesterday the temperature was this high, and this morning it dropped to this high, and then it rose again this afternoon to this high. We are moving along the line of time, but we struggle to represent this line of time other than with our fingers. Think about it, gentlemen. Think of all the ways we can move. One of the guests was a medical man. He thought for a moment and said, we can move left, right, up, and down through 3 dimensions of space. The time traveler nodded excitedly. But can we move up so easily? The psychologist, who was also at the party, joined the discussion at last. I mean, these days we have hot air balloons. By means of a machine or a mode of transportation, we can defy gravity and travel upwards. Exactly, shouted the time traveler. What exactly is your point? Asked the medical man. He was looking intently at our friend as if he could fathom the point of the conversation from his face. We can move in 3 dimensions, even up. But what about the 4th dimension, my friends? Don't be absurd, interrupted the psychologist. We cannot move through time. Like your cube, we can only exist in the present. But that is where you're wrong. That is where everyone is wrong. We can move through time just as we can move vertically up with the aid of a machine. We can move through time with a machine. We all looked at each other at this point in disbelief. Our host was a genius. There was no doubt about it. But this was stretching reason to almost breaking point. He was suggesting that the extent of a time machine was actually possible. Look here, dear friend, began the medical man. I know what you're all thinking, and I can assure you that I can prove that such a machine is possible to build. In fact, I have already built a prototype and the full scale working model will be completed very soon. Would you like to see it? He did not wait for a response. The time traveler disappeared from the room and returned quickly with a small object in his hands. He moved one of the octagonal side tables closer to the fireplace and placed his object and a candle on the table. We all examined the object closely. It appeared to be spherical in shape and was made from brass and ivory. Bye cookies, meet you in the next video. Until then, please subscribe to my channel. I am new, and like this video, share it with all your friends and family, and comment down below what do you think, how was the story. And guys, हम लोग अपनी स्टोरी को आगे पार्ट 2 में कन्वर्ट करते हैं. तो bye guys, till then, tata.